What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and in this one we go over Lions' new offensive coordinator hire out of Drew Petzing, why the Detroit Lions went that way, and what happened with Mike McDaniel, as the Lions appear to have thought he wasn't a good fit in Detroit, but it appears they thought that Drew Petzing was a great fit, and we go over what he brings to the Lions offense. We'll also go over potential coaches Drew Petzing could bring with him to Detroit. And we also go over the latest mock draft for the Detroit Lions, who they will be taking in the first round. It's all going to be in this video. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. But before we do, if you guys are new around here, I would greatly appreciate it if you could go ahead, hit that subscribe button, as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get right into it here. Alright, so the Detroit Lions have found their next offensive coordinator, as they are hiring Drew Petzing, former Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator. And while this hire did come as a surprise to many Lions fans, it appears Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions thought Petzing was a good fit for Detroit. And obviously Mike McDaniel, former Dolphins head coach, was a top candidate for the Lions, and many Lions fans wanted him to become the Lions' next OC. However, he obviously had, head coaching interviews, but it is likely, it seems, that he will be becoming the Los Angeles Chargers offensive coordinator, which now raises the question, why didn't the Lions go that route and go and get Mike McDaniel? Well, according to Jeff Darlington, he reported that of coordinator jobs that Mike McDaniel has interviewed for, the Lions gig was the least likely to materialize. Campbell liked McDaniel a lot, but Lions didn't view it as quite the right fit for them. So it appears it was more so the Lions that didn't want McDaniel than McDaniel not wanting the Lions OC job, which is pretty surprising, and also raises the question why the Lions didn't think he was the right fit for them. Maybe it was the personality fit, or maybe, McDaniel and Campbell don't see eye to eye as far as play calling goes and the way Campbell wants it to be. Whatever it is, though, it does appear that the Lions rejected McDaniel rather than McDaniel rejecting the Lions OC job. So it's pretty surprising right there, but nonetheless, the Lions got their guy out of Drew Petzing, which again is a risky move, it seems like, given the fact that Petzing, as the Cardinals offensive coordinator, didn't have much success besides the 2024 season, and that was really his best season with the Cardinals. The rest of the season, 2023, 2025, that offense was pretty rough. So one thing is clear, though, they obviously think that Drew Petzing is a fit here in Detroit. Now, according to John Macaron of Detroit Lions Sports Illustrated, Donnie Druin, who covers the Arizona Cardinals on Sports Illustrated, did say that the more he thinks about it, it makes sense for the Detroit Lions hiring Drew Petzing. And when you look at his best offense, it was leaning on a strong running game and utilizing play action to keep defenses honest. And he also thinks Jared Goff seems to be a really good fit for what Petzing's ideal offense looks like. And also, given the fact that Detroit already has a strong running game and also has established weapons in the passing game, his tenure in Detroit should not go how it went with the Arizona Cardinals. So what you can expect under Petzing's offense, he utilizes the tight ends and play action game. He used 12 personnel and 13 personnel a lot, and from 2023 through 2025, per True Media, the Cardinals' 12 personnel usage was 25.9%, which ranked 7th in the most usage, and 13 personnel, 12.5%, which was the highest usage. Also worth noting that Drew Petzing and Detroit Lions run game coordinator Hank Fraley were assistants together in Minnesota, and so that should help Petzing out a lot in Detroit. They already got a good run game coordinator out of Hank Fraley. There's a connection there, and so when you start to look at it, this hire may make a lot of sense for the Lions and Dan Campbell. Petzing uses heavier personnel, obviously. His identity is a physical run game and a versatile tight end room. He utilizes them in his offense a lot, so maybe this is what Dan Campbell wants to get back to. And also seems like, he's trying to go back to the Ben Johnson route. Drew Petzing and Ben Johnson worked together before in the past, and he has a similar coaching career similar to Ben Johnson. Even though his tenure with the Arizona Cardinals didn't go as great, he will have a much better chance to succeed here in Detroit. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, we got to wait and see how this hire turns out, what it pans out to be. If it was a good hire or not remains to be seen, really. Now, with Petzing joining Detroit, he could also be bringing in new coaches, including Cardinals tight ends coach Ben Steele, as the Lions currently have a vacancy at tight ends coach, and he is a former tight end who played 6 years in the NFL and has been Petzing's tight ends coach for his entire offensive coordinator years when he was with the Arizona Cardinals for the past 3 seasons. So could also bring over Arizona Cardinals pass game coordinator Drew Terrell, as he has served as the pass game coordinator and wide receivers coach for the past 3 years in Arizona. However, the only thing with that is the Cardinals passing offense never really produced anything other than average, and obviously the Lions already have wide receivers coach Scotty Montgomery, so Petzing could bring over some coaches with him from Arizona, especially that tight ends coach out of Ben Steele, as the Lions do need a new tight ends coach right now. And then to wrap up this video, I wanted to go over some mock drafts here for the Detroit Lions, as it is that time of year. And ESPN NFL draft analyst Mel Kiper has released his first 2026 NFL mock draft, and with the number 17 pick, Kiper has the Lions targeting Penn State guard Olavavega-Iane, a 6'4", 328-pound guard. This past season, he only allowed a total of 4 pressures and did not allow a single sack, and draft analysts appear to praise his power, strong lower body. And Kiper did say that Detroit took Tate Ratledge in round 2 of the 2025 draft, but there are still issues on the interior. Lions were 31st in pass block win rate at 55.5%, and with all their skill on offense, that has to be fixed. And while taking a guard in the first round isn't the most exciting pick, Iane is extremely talented, and Goff would appreciate his ability to sustain blocks and hasn't given up a sack since 2023. And also Gibbs and Montgomery would love the way he gets to the second level. So let me know what you guys think about that. Obviously, Lions, looking to rebuild that offensive line, and right now it seems to be what they will be taking in the 2026 NFL draft in the first round is either an offensive lineman or somebody on the defensive line. But right now, that offensive line is definitely a priority to rebuild here for the Detroit Lions, get back to their dominant ways in the trenches. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And all that, we will see you guys in the next video.